Hi, I'm going to talk about an incident that happened in 2007 when I flew off a cliff 300 feet in my vehicle and survived untouched and my car demolished. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so a preamble before I describe the sequence of events. I had three warnings, if you will, or premonitions that basically were, don't do this. And then I did it. I took the route that I took and it was about the route specifically, not to do that. And then I did it. So I just want to talk about this because I've shared it with a couple strangers and I have yet to publicly post it anywhere, because up until now, since 2007, I've kind of felt like it was for the handful of people that I've told for a reason, and because, you know, we all believe in miracles and we can kind of like edify, lift up each other and just encourage one another. And then I've shared it with a couple strangers. So right now I'm just going to describe what happened and you can decide for yourself what meaning that has to you or for you. Okay, so in 2007 I was employed in a couple positions. I was a teacher during the day. In the morning I worked at Starbucks as a barista, so I served coffee at 4 a.m. or 4:30 I think it was, in Palm Desert, and then I taught in the day like I said, and then at night I waited tables, and then also I was doing promotional modeling for cosmetics, so beauty products. So what I would do is work the weekends when I did the promotional modeling. So anyway, I was on the schedule was that I was going to go up the Highway 74 and then the 173 or 371, sorry, up past Anza and go to San Diego that way. So I was going to work in San Diego, and so I had to leave at 5 a.m. It was really dark. So before this, before I got on the road, okay, I was at Starbucks in the morning the day before, and some couple came in there, I don't know who they were, and they just asked something about the recommended route to get to San Diego, and it was winter, and so I had said to them, you know, don't take the 73 or the 73 or 74, whatever, it's right, I'm losing, my memory's going blank. It's 73 or 74 right outside of Palm Springs to get up to San Diego. Anyway, Highway 74, sorry. There's a 73 out here in Irvine, and so that's kind of why I'm confusing those. Anyway, point being, I warned them and I said out loud, don't go that way. It's kind of dangerous in the winter, and it's, you know, a straight shot. If you go down 10, it's a little bit more as far as miles are concerned, but you know, it's going to be quicker because you're going to have to go slower around the mountains, and it's just not as safe because of the winter time. So again, there's my first warning, okay? Now, I actually went to school after that to teach, and I printed out the map, and initially, because of the shorter route, Google brought up the back way, which is around the mountains. And I said to myself, I'm not going to go that way. It's not safe. So I intentionally printed out the other direction. And I know I did because I clicked on it and I remember, whoa, that's like the second time. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what's ahead. So, okay. I clicked specifically to print the route that was not the dangerous route, the one I told the other people to go, you know, to follow, so down the 10. So I intentionally printed that, and I didn't verify that that's what printed. I just put it on my front seat of the car. Okay, so the next morning I'm getting up, I'm ready to go. I make my coffee or my tea or whatever I had that morning. I want to say it was black tea. It was vanilla black tea. Why do I remember that? I don't remember anything, and then I remember like small things like this, like when it has to do with emotionally charged or like spiritually charged events or human link, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, side derail. Okay, so I got in my car. So now I've already said twice I shouldn't go this way, right? I get in my car and it's the map for the other direction. Okay, I'm like, how did that get there? And I think I shouldn't go that way. I told those people not to go that way, but it's the map I have. And I think at the time it didn't even have, like, I don't know what the deal was with smartphones or navigation or whatever, but obviously I printed it, so I didn't have like an alternative route printed out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go this way, even though I don't think I should. So I started driving that way, and as I was driving up Highway 74, I got this weird thought, and it was not my thought because I wasn't suicidal. I was pretty on fire at that time, like you know, I was close to God, I think. Well, I say I think because it's a long time ago, and now that I look back at my spiritual maturity, it wasn't the same. I mean, I was still having like fall and get up kind of moments. So it was a lot different than now, but you know, I mean, we grow over time, right? So I think what I was doing was I was really fervently praying for a new heart, and I got it. I'll explain that later, what that means. But I was developing, and so I'll just say that basically I had a, sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm in the park and there's some kids walking by, but okay, so I had three times I said, okay, I shouldn't go this way, right? And I knew better. So it's like 3 warnings, and I just listened to it because I have this intuition sometimes, and like, well, discernment, right? And I know something, but I tell myself, hey, that's crazy, you're crazy, like you don't know that, or like that's just, don't listen to that. And really it's the Holy Spirit. And so I don't do that anymore, but I used to do that. I just doubt myself, you know, that I'm hearing right, or that there's a reason for what I think. And so anyway, I got in my car and I proceeded to go up to 74, and going back to where I stopped, I had a thought come into my head. Like I said, that was not my own thought. It's not something I thought, because I was happy, I was doing well on my walk, you know, I was faithful, and I was just on target as to where I wanted to be going. And so what happened was, the thought was, I think it was demonic. It was, why don't you just drive off this cliff? And I thought, what? I don't want to drive off a cliff. What is that? And that's not my thought. Where does that even come from? And I was like, oh, okay, spiritual attack. And so I said, you know, Satan, get out of my head, or go far from me in the name of Jesus, and you're under my feet. And that was it. That was it. No more weird thoughts. And so then I continued to drive, and seriously, within 2 miles up after 73, up to 371, is when I flew off the cliff. And so I felt something push me off that cliff. I'm not kidding you. Like, it wasn't black ice. I wasn't speeding, nothing. I was paying attention. I had my contacts in, like everything, okay? So I was driving normal. I didn't lose control, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I feel something pushing me. I'm gonna go off this cliff. Now, initially, like right away, my thoughts were, I'm gonna be fine. I'm a teacher. I'm also a track and cross country coach. I'm teaching these kids, like I'm helping them run. I'm pacing the boys' high school kids. Like, there's no way God's gonna let me get injured. And I remember all these thoughts through my, like, seriously went through my head, like in a split second. I was like, relax your hand, relax your arms. So I like relaxed against the, you know, I put my hands on the steering wheel and relaxed and leaned back. And so I knew that either A, I was going to be fine, or B, I was going to heaven, but I'm not going to come back all injured and unable to do what I'm doing. And so that is the crazy thing, the peace that comes with faith. And so I flew off that cliff, okay, like straight boom at a 90-degree angle, and like I said, something pushed me off, and I'm serious about this. So a tree, a big old tree, like bigger than that, with a huge tree base, flew through my car window. I mean, I guess I'd say like I crashed into a tree and then that tree like went through my window. I don't know how to say that, but the big old thing went through my window on the right side and went and cracked my trunk in half, okay? It split open my trunk, went right by my head. Didn't touch me. Right by my head, okay? Then I was going down, like I went sideways. Seriously, it was really fun actually, but kind of crazy. But I went sideways. It was scary, but I'm just saying it was like a roller coaster. I like roller coasters. So I went to the right, and then I remember all that whole big old tree. I don't know if you guys have been up 73 and then 371, but there's like, it's like people die there every week. The police said that when I called them after this happened. My phone still worked, but it was all oily and black. Anyway, going backwards. I went to the right, the tree, and then it bounced me over, back, right, and then down. So I was like going straight down. Sorry, I'm not looking at the screen while I'm talking, so I'm not getting nervous. So sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, is my hand in the video? So it goes straight down, and I'm facing the ground. And then as I'm like, boom, boom, tree through my thing, everything's like sparking when I land. But right before I land, here's the crazy thing. My airbags are not dysfunctional, okay? I had this brand new car, and I'll just go into another testimony thing, another learning thing about my car and not valuing material items and da-da-da-da. and how I got out of that loan and that I wouldn't later be able to afford because I didn't know, because I'd get a total layoff of like jobs in the desert because it slows down. Anyway, boom, I'm gonna talk about that stuff later. But okay, so right before I landed, because I need to keep this brief in 10 minutes. Right before I landed, I was caught by a hand or like a force, and I really think it was just God, whatever he was using, like wind or his hand. I felt like it was a hand because I felt something catch my car. That's a weird thing. It wasn't a tree. And then I landed gently, like right at the end. Was my hand in there? Yes. I landed and I was just set down like this, flat, okay? And the airbags didn't even go off because it was such a gentle landing, and they confirmed they were not broken. So my airbags didn't go off. It was 300 feet at least. They told me this, and I'm fine, and my car is totaled. It got totaled out by the insurance, 100% covered by my insurance company. I have a great insurance company, by the way, it's Farmers. But anyway, so I walk out and I walk up the canyon, and it's totally pitch black, okay? Now, let me tell you, I couldn't see a thing. I didn't even know what way the canyon was, and I didn't have like the cool flashlight like iPhones have now, right? This is in 2007. So I didn't know which way to go, and it's up there in the mountains and the boonies, and I'm like, Lord, I don't know how to get out of here. How are the cops gonna help me? So what I did when I climbed out of my car is like, I really thought like, okay, this might sound dumb, but I thought my car was gonna blow up, because I've seen movies, and it just was in my head. I've never had an accident like this. So, or yeah, but anyway, so hood or whatever. I don't know names of things. It was like, and I thought I was gonna catch on fire, and it was like sparking, and I could hear it and I see it, and I was like, oh my gosh, my car is gonna catch on fire. I had to get out of it. So I took my phone, and okay, back up for a second. My car was full of stuff, okay? All my credit card, my debit, all my belongings. My phone was plugged in, okay? No, things flew out. My stuff flew out of my car, and my phone was still in my car with me. And so I got out, took my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it was all black and like broken on the screen and stuff, but it still dialed. So I called. I couldn't see like the numbers I was pushing, but it's 911. I mean, you don't need to see the numbers. But I pushed sometimes I say really dumb things. So I pushed I'm not gonna, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I pushed in a second, but just so you know, I don't like re-recording. I just like rough drafting these. I'm gonna get better, but over time, and be more comfortable. Right now, because I'm so nervous, I just kind of am trying to get them up there. And I know I said I'm gonna practice, but at least there's like an order to this. Okay, it's not nonsense. I do interject crazy other things, but there's an order, so I'm a little more organized in my brain before I start them. But I'm just, you have to excuse my randomness and the rambling because it's just how it is temporarily. Okay, so I was pushing the numbers. I dialed 911. They answered, and they're like, don't move. Most people are paralyzed. You probably have broken something. It's very dangerous. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I think the car's going to blow up. I'm already traveling up the canyon. And they were like, what? How could you be? And they were like, motorcycles are there every week, or somebody goes off. Like, you should stay put. And I was like, it's too late. I'm going up the canyon. Meet me at the top. So they sent someone, and and a tow truck too. Okay, going back to right before I climbed up, I was praying because it was completely pitch dark. And I was like, Lord, how do I know which way to go? And I'm serious. I was like, God, you have to send one car. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. No one's out here. It's pitch black. I don't know where to go. Send one car so I know. And literally within 2 minutes, probably a minute. I just don't want to totally promise that because I can't remember if it was a minute or 2 minutes. But within 2 minutes, for sure, because I remember telling somebody this too after it happened. And just, I didn't wait. I wasn't sitting there waiting. So it had to be a minute or 2 minutes because I just like prayed, and then I was waited, and then it was there. Anyway, I saw a light coming, and so I knew which way the highway was, and that is the only car that came the entire time for the half an hour away that police officer was, okay? And then the tow truck came. No, tow truck came, then the police officer. And so the tow truck got there. Why did he get there first? I guess because that's weird. It was so long ago. Because it was Anza, and they were closer, and the cops are far away. So anyway, it was just crazy. And the cop came, and seriously, the tow truck guy, and they looked at me like I was crazy. They looked at me like, seriously, that's how they looked at me. Anyway, they were just like, they couldn't believe that I walked up that thing, and they couldn't believe I was okay. And they looked at my car like way down there, and or tried to look at my car. I don't know if they shined a light or not, because I just can't remember that part. But But anyway, it was just crazy, okay? Phenomenal. And I know God does this kind of stuff all the time, but only so many people will have these memories, or occurrences. But I mean, seriously, the way I went off that cliff, like, everybody's like, we can tell you're not speeding by the marks. Like, you really went off 90 degree, like something pushed you off. And I was like, yeah, and I know. And the thing is that the tow truck guy was so convinced. Like, when I told him, he's just like, he knew that God was real. It was crazy. So he was totally convinced and it wasn't like I was trying to convince him, but just the truth of the matter, he was sold for that. And then the police officer he was like going to take me to the hospital. I was like, I don't even need to go to the hospital, I'm fine. Like, and the only thing that happened afterwards, my neck hurt on the left side, but God used that to correct my herniated disc on the right side. So that's a whole other testimony I'm going to give later about how, sorry, my head itches, how God, that's weird, because when I said that, I was like, oh, my neck, it's tight, I need to crack it. Not to be gross, but anyway, that's a whole nother testimony how he healed my neck. But this is getting long, so I'm trying to talk fast and get through it, because I know, like, shorter is better, but, I mean, it's hard to tell that one in a short story, because that's just not, it's worth the whole thing of what happened. I don't know how to edit that. I could work on it, but I really want to tell it how it happened. Anyway, okay, wrapping this up, God, you know, I flew off that cliff at that 90-degree angle. He caught me. My airbag didn't go off, so I had no damage to my face. I was not injured. It corrected my herniated disc, and I knew that I was going to be fine, and I knew that I was in God's hands. And so I just want to encourage people. The reason I need to put this out there is because I have this, and I have had an interesting walk, okay? I have a lot to share, but I used to get angry. I'm just going to be honest. I was angry at God because he didn't give other people miracles. And I've told some people that are close to me this, like, it really used to make me upset. I'm like, Lord, why do I have so many and other people have trouble believing because they say they haven't met you, they haven't seen you, they can't believe without seeing, they can't believe without something happened to them. And I say, hey, look, pray that God will intervene. He'll, like, interject himself right into your life and collide with your circumstances. Like, his will collide with yours. If you want to know and you want to feel his presence, his Holy Spirit, and you want to know he's there, you have to pray for it. But he knows your heart, so, like, there's no point unless you in your heart want to know if someone created you, and you want to know because you want to worship the one who made you, and you want to follow in his path, like that he has for you, the better path, the one that you're gonna like a lot better than your own, and you appreciate the things of God and you want to see them. And I'll talk later, but I'm a seer. I realize it now, but I used to speak the things I saw, and it wasn't always appropriate or what he wanted me to do. He just wanted me to see it. And I see things. And so I've learned that I see in the spiritual realm. But, and I'll talk about that later, but I wouldn't give that up for anything. And I wouldn't give up, you know, the trials either, because they grow you. And that event, like, I was out a car for a while, and I had a rental car for a long time, and then just a bunch of stuff happened after that. But it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, that accident. I'm serious. Like, it's crazy. Like, the worst things, I have some crazier, worse things that's happened to me. Like, my whole car stolen, all my stuff, and 4 computers, and like, blah, blah, but all of the worst things, and being cheated on, and betrayal, and all that, like, honestly, like, each of the moments of my life that have been the worst, and I have people close to me that can testify to this, were like the best things that ever happened to me. So I'm just waiting at this season to find out how the best thing is going to happen to me pretty soon. Yeah. Just faith, dude. That's all you got to have, because I'm going through some rough right now, like, going through the fire, being tested, but it's fine because I have joy through it. I mean, it's like really hard, but I don't know, like, I'm not worried about it. Like, there's moments, like 2-sentence moments, and then I'm like, whatever. I have so many things to lean on. Anyway, I used to get mad. Sorry, I'm going to end with that because I just kind of trailed off a little bit about the events that have happened, but I used to get mad at God in my past and be like, why did you give me all these miracles? And I now know why, and it's because I have foundations. I have things that I can go back and look at, and there's not like coincidences, okay? They're major things, and I have testimonies, and I can reach so many people from all the bad things that have happened in my life and to me, and just how you can keep loving and forgive. That's a big one, and I have that to share with people, and how God always cares for you and there's a bigger plan, and what's at the end of that tunnel. I have that. Like, how would I have that if life had been easy? Like, I'm really grateful for these things, and I want to tell you about them, and I'll never make anything up. So I don't know why someone would. I don't know, there's bad motivations out there somewhere. I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of it right now. That's dumb, but I know there's reasons people do stuff. I just can't think of why. But the point is, I'm never gonna make anything up. I'm always gonna tell you the truth. I'm never gonna even exaggerate, because I hate it when people exaggerate. I'm big on like people not lying. I hate lying. I hate lies. I hate when people lie. But so I'll always be honest and tell you the truth. And I'm sorry if that wasn't super entertaining, but I'm trying to get over the like just shyness, and I probably will do better like soon. Just pray that I'll not be shy. I hate it. Okay. That's my story. So I'm gonna end there. 20 minutes. Sorry guys, I don't know how to make it shorter. Well, I do. Okay, if I had a script and I memorized it and didn't have all the one-offs, probably it would be a lot shorter. Just love me anyway. Okay, have a blessed day, and I'll tell you more about the other ones. I'll probably have to watch this, oh no, to get the other things I want to talk about, and maybe I'll talk about them next. But I have this big old sermon thing I want to give, so I don't know how I'm going to break that up, but it's written down. It's something God put on my heart. He tends to give me a lot of things when I'm doing my God hikes with him, and then when I'm in the shower, it just like pops in my head. Two weird places, but no, one weird place and one place that I'm seeking him. So anyway, I'm going to go off on another tangent. So have a blessed day, and thanks for listening, and I'll get back to you soon as I can. I have some events coming up for United Hearts, but I'll get back to you and I'll tell you more about some other miracles. Okay? Feel free to ask questions and I'll tell you more or answer them or something. Okay, bye.